What's up, everybody? Welcome to In Love with Horror, your destination for all things horror. And look, we got a special Valentine's Day episode for y'all where we'll be talking about, it's a bloody discussion. It's all about My Bloody Valentine. We'll be talking about the original and the remake. And to help us with that, we got a special guest on the podcast. We got Matt and Laci from Low Bearing Beans podcast. Matt and Laci, what's going on?
Hi, thank you for having us.
Yeah, we're super excited to have them on the podcast, y'all. And we found out before we started recording that we're their first podcast that they're guesting on. So
yes, be gentle.
But I'm sure you've seen our other collaborations. Like we keep it super laxed over here. Like anything goes. Like you can cuss, all that good stuff. Like everything's you just everything's super lax over here.
I listened specifically for that. When I heard the first fuck, I wrote down in my notes.
Like one fuck allowed. Don't have to like kids that much. Okay.
That much? Exactly.
Just, Mm-hmm.
But y'all, so we'll be talking about My Bloody Valentine, both of them. But before we dive into that, we wanted to kick it off with a special question here. So the question is, do you have a special Valentine's Day memory or a favorable gift you received on Valentine's Day? So we'll pass it to you, Matt Laci, first.
Oh, we're going to be the Grinch on this. Matt, go ahead. Tell the gift that keeps on giving.
The short answer is no.
The gift of not doing shit.
Yes. Our gift to each other is not caring about Valentine's Day.
Not caring.
Well.
But there's no pressure. If a chocolate heart ends up in your car seat, it's a win.
I think Laci and I are aligned in like life is hard enough. Why add in holidays?
Yeah, holidays are just
just
there to screw them up.
You know, our first Valentine's Day together, though, I did bake you and your young child a cake.
Ew.
Now, was that mainly a gift for myself to have a cake? Yes, but I was like, it's Valentine's Day. Time for cake. Okay. And then second place is these hearts that we bought tonight.
From the Dollar Tree.
They are so cute.
Hey,
thank you ever so
much. Keeping it simple. I love it, though. That's what I'm all about, too.
Yeah, we're not anniversary people, really.
Okay, that's only because I forget all of them.
Well, it's not like it's not like we do dates for anniversaries and dates for Valentines, and because again, life is hard enough. Why add extra hurdles to it?
We're best friends who live together.
Yeah.
Oh, so cute.
That's awesome.
Every day's a gift.
That's right.
All right, now, babe, do you have a favorite Valentine's memory or gift that I've given you? I can't remember the stuff I got you.
I know you can't. Well, there was one Valentine's Day where we didn't have no money, right? So you got me this little box thing that had a heart inside. It said love.
That like picture frame type of thing that we talking about?
Yeah, it was very small.
It was small. It was cute though.
It was cute.
Yeah.
I still have it.
It wasn't like the movie that we're talking about. It was a symbol of a heart.
It was a symbol of a heart.
Not like that.
The weirdest of gestures, and that's how you knew you were meant to be. Of a human heart? Honey.
Thanks. You shouldn't have.
No.
You really
now I'm
have.
culpable.
So you have no memories whatsoever of gifts that I've given you?
I know you got me like favorite candy and stuff before. But I can't.
I think that was someone else.
No, he definitely got candy before.
Bad kitty.
Did they get each other like a Power Rangers Valentine or anything like that?
I don't know. Well, you tell me. What's something dope you got me then? Because I can't remember.
How would I know what what your favorite gift is from me?
No, I'm saying you said I didn't get you. You didn't get me candy that I like. I know you did.
Candy that
I've given you candy on your birthday.
Okay. I could have sworn you gave me candy on Valentine's Day too.
I don't know.
So you can't even remember what you gave me before.
See,
you gave me a card.
Like
you gave me nice cards.
Our
before.
answer.
Yes, I have. I've given you cards.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
So.
Yeah.
Nice
but it feels.
card.
I feel like maybe this is. Not, maybe you feel like us.
Yeah. Maybe you're just like us. You guys are busy as hell.
Oh,
that part,
for sure.
The number of.
As the number
dependents.
As the number of dependents goes up, as the number of years goes up, I feel like the attachment to to the holidays and the
Yes.
gestures.
Yeah.
The
it starts
capacity
to
for that
mean-
goes way down.
Right.
And anyone
It
with
shifts.
a podcast as well produced and as organized and as consistent as you guys, it's fully a second job. So like,
Oh, 100%.
it's this or
Absolutely.
Valentine's Day, bitches.
But like I mentioned in the beginning, we're going to be talking about the original My Bloody Valentine as well as the remake. So before we get into kind of, comparing those and kind of the things we liked about each of them, Chrissy's going to dive into like the kind of breakdown, a little bit of information about each of those films. So I'll pass over to you, Beth.
All right. So we're going to start out with the 1981 version. It was directed by George Mahalka, written by Stephen A. Miller and John Beard. Now, the producers of this film said the origin came about when they wanted to kind of like start like a slasher film. They're coming off of the high of like Halloween, Friday the 13th. And they're like, we got to get in on this. And they were like, oh, what's a holiday that we can use that hasn't been done?
What's after the 13th?
Exactly. The 14th. Right, exactly. So they just settled on Valentine's Day. So that's how we got this. Now, in the first movie, basically what happens is they have like this dance in this small town.
Valentine Bluff.
They
What
are.
else?
Valentine
I mean-
Bluffs town. Yes. With the population of what, 3,000 something?
He was like,
And they were all at that damn
3,000.
dance.
Which I would say
Yeah.
I call bullshit on that.
Yeah, because there was way too
Yeah.
many kids of the
18,
same age.
There's 18 people in this
Yeah.
town.
There
Yeah,
are
100%.
so many people the same age for there to be only 3,000.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. So yeah, at the same time that this dance is going on, there's an explosion at the mine that traps people underground. And, the dance continues. There, no one stops worried about what's going on in the mine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when the explosion happens, Harry Warden, which is like the main villain in this story, he's found as the only survivor, and he's like eating
It was like 6 weeks. It's a
yeah,
crazy long time. Right.
it's a super long time. He survived by eating the people that were down there,
Right.
which was insane. They literally showed us him gnawing on an arm.
He seemed happy.
Yeah, he did that by like minute 15.
Yeah, he was just waiting for a reason to eat somebody.
Exactly. So yeah, they send him to a mental hospital, but he escapes and murders everyone who he deems like responsible, and the fact that they were continuing the party and all this kind of stuff when all this was happening.
Because in any horror film, the psychiatric ward security is always terrible.
Trash. So we have three like main characters in this film. We have Sarah, TJ, and Axel.
Axel.
Yes, I just love that name for some reason.
It's a good name. But
Yeah,
I also
it
like
is kinda dope.
the best friend. I find their
Hollis.
relationship sweet. Oh, Hollis, I love Hollis.
Oh,
No, I
yeah.
mean the other female that's there for a while that is being a little bitch. I mean, she's
The one
sweet,
she
but
slaps at the end.
Yes, I really
Get it together.
I liked,
Her name
I
is.
liked all of those people. I love anyway.
TJ later comes back, right? Because he's been gone, living a life in the big city. But when he comes back, Sarah's with Axel now. And he's like, I want my girl back. And so him and Axel like kind of going back with each other throughout the movie or whatever, because Axel's like, well, you can't have her.
Well, it's brilliant though, right? Because it gives you these, as the audience, you're like, okay, they both have a reason. If
Yes.
one of them is up to this and it's not an escaped
Exactly.
person,
It's like, so who is it?
It plays with motive.
Well, so you first time watching this, you were under the impression the killer would be one of these people. It wouldn't just still be
Yeah.
Harry Warden. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that was just my guess. I understood that he was responsible the first time, but it just didn't seem realistic that he'd wait that long. I don't know.
Gotcha.
I feel you on that. But I definitely kind of thought it was him,
What?
the Henry Warden guy.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's coming after, Halloween and Friday the 13th where
Right.
there is a killer. Although the first Friday the 13th does have a sort of similar whodunit element, but you are kind of thinking, okay, so this is this movie's big bad. It's this Harry Warden guy, not it's going to turn out to be a copycat.
Exactly. Because, and then also in this movie, we don't really get closure or anything to say that he was dead.
True.
He kind of like ran away and deeper into the mine.
Right.
And so
It wasn't until like the end that we actually got. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So I
In
was
fact,
thinking it was him.
You're right. You're totally right because, okay, I won't skip to the ending because that's the whole thing, but there's even a mention of him by the cuckoo who ends up being the person who did it going, I'm coming for you, Harry. Like they're going to join up and have a part 2 or something.
Yeah, he does. That's hilarious.
I think the remake sort of literalizes that idea,
Yes.
is that he has a multiple personality.
We
Whereas,
haven't even gotten
sorry.
we're getting there, Matt.
Matt.
I'm saying it's
so
only
the
hinted at in
mayor-
the first one.
And the sheriff are like, we have to shut down this dance because when Warden is doing all the murdering, he's like sending messages like, you need to cancel the dance if you want me to stop. So
Seems like a simple ask. Yeah.
very, very
Right?
simple ask. Yet now let's just, I had told AJ this. Yes, Matt.
You can stop
But
saying
we
it.
want to
didn't you?
have our dance.
These are grown ass people.
We need a place to hang out together and
Wait.
drink and eat together.
It's just
Like the thing we're doing right now and every night.
It's just like True Detective, though. It's a small ass mining community. There's nothing else to do
I
but
guess.
party and mine. It's party
But I'm
time.
like, they're acting like teenagers.
That's the
If they
real
felt
horror.
how they acted felt that way. Yeah.
I assume they were. Like, none of them seemed to have jobs except for the miners. The girls were just decorating a town hall and for every holiday until the boys
I
show
actually think this is like a pretty well observed thing that this movie's doing, is like, this is a working class town where these people all presumably
Yeah.
went to high school together. Now they work in the mines, and it's just all the old dynamics are still there. All the people
slapping
have known each other
ass
forever.
and
They used to go
weddings.
to high school dances. Now they go to grown up dances.
Right. Yeah.
It is truly my nightmare, and I would say the most horrible horror movie moment is when your shift at work ends and then you have a big communal shower with all your coworkers.
That was like
And then-
the high school locker room scene. You know what I mean? But it was after mining and yeah.
Man, they liked it in there.
and
They
then
did.
let's all go continue being with each other
Oh, my-
at a bar. It's like, no, that's work.
My
You're not
poor.
getting paid for this. And then the one guy who tries to get out and go to another place, there's some sort of supernatural force pulling
Right.
him back. You can't get out of here.
Right. The one Matt and the whole bunch.
You
and
need
they're
to
like,
come back and shower with us.
Let's all date the same woman.
I also am dying to
Right.
know what TJ did when he went out west or whatever.
He failed. He fell straight on his face,
But
Matt.
did he go to Hollywood? Did he
went
go
out
to
there.
Toronto? Like, what was he
That's
doing?
what I
he
was
had
trying to figure out.
$100.
Yeah.
He had the,
Did
he
he
had the
literally just go to the
entrepreneur
next
spirit.
town?
Right. He went out west, but it was just west of Valentine Bluff.
Yeah.
It wasn't the coast.
He went to Easter Cove.
I was thinking he had to go somewhere like where he thought he could meet someone new.
Yeah.
So he never wrote her or anything like that. So I'm thinking he must have went to like some big city where he thought he would, meet another woman or
Right.
something.
Well, right. 'cause
Probably.
he's like-
He tried to rationalize it as he was embarrassed, that he failed. But
Well, it's like this life where we all just go to high school together, work in the mines, and then live and then die.
Well, wait,
I
he's-
want something a little different, and they said, "No, you don't."
He's the son of the owner of the mine. Like
Oh,
he's
right.
reached the pinnacle of what you can be in this town. He's like, seriously? I've got nothing else to achieve and I hate this. It makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
It was.
He's
and
banged the hottest girl.
Mad about being back.
And we haven't
yeah.
mentioned
Go
we
ahead.
haven't mentioned the very most crucial element of this whole movie, which is Canadian.
Yes.
It is. I love how Canadian it is, and I love the way these people are allowed to be Canadian and sound Canadian.
They're
and
allowed to.
yeah, it's they're not pretending it's a town in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania or something.
yeah,
they have their Canadian accents. They
found
drink Moosehead Lager.
It's
and-
very charming.
yeah, no, I love it.
Yeah, they decide to sneak and have the dance
yeah.
anyways.
Yes.
And so obviously Warden continues his killing spree. Now we'll talk a little bit about the kills a little bit later, but there are some really good ones in this movie.
Yes, there are.
yeah.
I wrote them down.
So we found out later that Axel is indeed the killer, and he decided to do this because he was just so traumatized from seeing his father being killed by him. warden.
Right. His dad was one of the select few people that did get murdered from once he, It wasn't a lot of people that got murdered, right? In the first one?
No, it wasn't
When
that
Warden
many
did get
people
out
the first time
right.
around.
It wasn't like the second one.
The second one,
Holy
yeah,
shit.
that's different.
They went ham.
And it does not waste time. It's like a half a body. Half a body. That man was in a coma. He has got a lot of energy.
He came out swinging.
He woke up and chose violence immediately. He was ready.
Yeah. Well, Matt already talked about the fact that this film was, shot in Nova Scotia. It's Canadian. But they legitimately use, mines to do all the filming and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
I thought it was really
so good. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks so good. I thought it was so interesting that when they first told the town that they were going to be filming there, the town cleaned out the mines, fixed them all up.
No.
Making them really nice. And then so when they came back to film, they're like, no, what have you done?
Yeah. It's Disney World.
Right. So they had to use a lot of their film budget to make it look ugly again.
To re-dirty the mine.
That's interesting.
They had to start a mining operation.
Exactly. All over again. Well, I thought that was so funny.
That's sweet.
All right. So you want to talk about the 2009 version?
No, you're doing a great job, baby. Keep running.
Really? You was going to leave me out here to dry.
You're killing it, baby. You're killing it.
You're killing it like Harry Warden.
Right.
There you go.
We're going to talk a little bit about that.
I do want to mention something before you go to the next film. I don't know what the technique would be called, but I thought it was cool in this original film when the killings are about to happen. It like switched to like a different like color grade or film type. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. I don't know if y'all know what that would be
That's
called.
That's the kind of thing Matt usually notices.
I did notice a change in color grading, but I just thought the kills were exceptional.
But not in aspect ratio.
Not aspect ratio, but he's saying the color grading changed.
I know, I was just guessing.
Which I didn't know. Did you guys watch the uncut version or the theatrical?
Yeah.
We watched the theatrical version.
Okay.
What did we watch?
We watched the uncut. It was the first time I'd seen the movie. I watched the theatrical and actually didn't like it very much. And then I saw the uncut, which is just 3 more minutes, but it's 3 minutes of killing and it's exquisite. Can't recommend it highly enough. But it's not streaming. You have to buy the Blu-ray to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed that y'all had bought the Blu-ray. Jealous.
Yeah, highly recommended. Some good kills.
This is my first steelbook.
I wonder what we would
no,
miss.
that's not it.
Because it wasn't.
Well, I know they
made
made cuts because I get the MPAA rating was going to be an X if they kept those kills in.
Oh man!
No, I think that it just get
just
more
had
of
too
each.
Many.
You get each kill. You get more time with each kill in the uncut version.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I really like
Gotcha.
to savor it.
So you're going to leave me out here? Okay.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. You go ahead, baby. You got it.
All right. So moving on, we will talk a little bit about the 2009 version, and then we'll go into like our plot comparisons and stuff like that.
Okay.
All right. So this one was directed by Patrick Lussier and written by Todd Farmer, who was the guy in the motel scene.
Yeah.
Which I thought was hilarious.
The one
was weird,
having
honestly.
the sex. Fantastic.
That was
he
that was very
chose,
weird.
chose to be naked.
Yeah.
This ass cannot be wasted. I must show this.
He's like, oh, you need a guy for that? Let me do that.
When he wrote it, he was like, that's going to be me, right?
No, he wrote that. He circled that on his script.
Yeah, he did.
He led a nationwide search for the perfect person for this
Right.
and saw you looking himself in the mirror.
He couldn't wait for that.
100%.
All right. So in this one, the mining town is called Harmony. And there's a drilling accident that is called by Tom Hanager, which is the owner's son. Mm-hmm. He forgot to bleed the lines.
Told you.
The mine collapses. 6 miners are buried alive. And the rescue team only finds Henry Warden alive, but he's in like a deranged state. Eventually he goes into like a coma. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he killed the other miners that were down there with the axe to the head, just like conserve his air. Because he's like, I'm not about down here by myself. When they move him to the hospital, it's Valentine's Day. just so happens that he wakes up from his coma and he goes on a murdering spree, killing everybody. Like,
those people were already sick. They didn't need that poor hospital.
He went crazy in that hospital.
I think
man.
it was
That's
like
out of
20 something people.
Yes.
22.
Okay, yeah,
I think.
22 people.
In half. I wrote down like
Crazy.
you could train for a year and not be able to pull this off. No one tried to defend themselves. Anyway, it's buck wild.
And he just woke up and was ready to go.
It's like the first thing that happens after the credits too. I mean,
that's it.
Yep.
Well, after the little newspaper montage.
Right.
And montage
Right.
intro. Yeah.
That
Right.
montage is
All the
overwhelming.
3D
They're
effects.
throwing information at you, and it's in 3D, and it's so weird looking. You're not paying attention anyway.
Right,
And then
exactly.
you're at
Because
a
I think we
hospital
went back.
I was about
killing
to say that.
You
It's funny
really
you say that,
I
Matt,
watched,
because we had to rewind it. Like, we were like, wait a second, go back. I didn't get a chance to finish reading that before we switched to something else.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I needed to know at what point in the story we were starting. I mean, I knew it was a remake, but I just didn't know if they're going to take a new angle or if they're going to be different. So I was like, this is important. I'm not following this. But anyway, and Matt was super distracted because it was made at the time it was, and it was made for 3D. He said it looks more like a play, like a soap opera. Like it doesn't
well,
the frame rate or some
yeah, I did
bullshit.
notice soap opera effect on my TV. And just sort of that era of filmmaking, digital filmmaking, just looks so bad right now.
Right. It's
So
baby CGI.
early digital, CGI blood, CGI gore.
Like you could just have some blood. Why you got to use computers
Yeah.
for that shit?
Yeah, they perfected that technology like 70 years ago. You don't need to
Right, you just go-
iterate on it. But
That's
in
it.
2009, 3D was huge, and that was the,
Yeah, it was.
the gimmick of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was funny you said that because someone was interviewing Todd Farmer, the writer, and he was like, so why did you decide to use that gimmick of 3D? And the guy, Todd goes, it's not a gimmick.
It's a movement, bitch. And that's why my erection could be like, my erection. What's coming at you? Like that. 3D trucker penis. Yes.
That's the X-rated word.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we see TJ. Well, he's Tom in this one. Just Tom. Tom, Sarah, Axel, and Irene. They meet up with some other teenagers at the mine. And they go inside the mine. They get killed.
Yeah, because there's a party over there at tunnel number 5. And
All these parties in the mine.
Well, but they specifically did they pick an abandoned mine or did they pick the mine that was closed down because of fucking
I think
Tom?
it was the same mine because
Yeah.
Tom was apprehensive about going in.
He was weird, and that's because
Yeah.
I missed the part in the credits that it was his fault. And then like once like the third old guy punched him in the face. I'm like, what? Why do they hate Tom?
Those old guys was killing him.
and
that's for both movies. I wrote every older white man looks the same. In both movies, the bartender.
Like, wait, who's that? Who's that?
I was like, is that the dad? Is that the one that likes Mabel? Is that the one that's always drunk? They all look the same. And then it happened
they
again
do.
in the second one. And they do admit that they're an inbred mining town, so maybe that's
There was a joke.
they're all each other's uncles. Yeah,
Yeah, so they witnessed their friends getting killed.
right.
And I like how they just left Tom, by the way. Axel was like, yeah, fuck him. Like, let him go.
They did leave him.
This makes this so much less complicated, Tom. Thank you.
I'm assuming they thought he was dead.
Okay, but
looked
she
right
looked
at
him
him.
right
They're
at
looking
him.
right at him.
He-
No, it's too late for
he's like,
him.
no.
Now we gotta go. We gotta go.
We already
They
turned on the
made
car.
eye contact, and he was like, fuck him. Like, sorry, we out.
3 minutes ago, you said you hate this guy and wish him dead. So
Like,
this
he
is a
could
little
have
suspect.
driven that car into
He could
the
have.
killer.
Yeah.
And then later on, she says, "Oh, Axel was there for me." Well, y'all left this dude in the daggone mine.
Left him.
Well, anyways, yeah. So he
Sorry.
gets face to face with the killer, and I don't know. He gets so traumatized from this. He ends up in like a mental hospital, but we don't know that until later
don't know.
on. Right. So years later, he
10
comes
years.
back.
10 years past.
Yeah.
Yeah, alive.
His dad had passed away, and they wanted him to sign documents. So he returns to town so he can sell the mine. When he comes back, Sarah is married to Axel. Axel is a hoe.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Irene is fucking a handsome writer.
She is.
Who's also
It's a lot
fucker.
going on.
It's a lot. I had to catch up.
Yeah, and Laci said like all the old people are mad at Tom because he wants to sell the mine, and everyone looks at the mine as a way for everyone to have jobs, and it keeps the resources in the town.
Right.
Right.
So once he's there, then the murders start back up.
Weird.
So weird. Like, why is that happening? But the old guy, one of the old guys, says, "Oh, he's here for you."
Oh, yeah.
Oh, see, I got okay. Full disclosure. I watched it for the first time today. I had tried to watch that before today, but anyway, it's fresh in my head. But I feel like on a second watching, I'd pick up on some more of this stuff now. Knowing,
Yeah. Well, I think you watched it back when it came
I watched it in
out,
theaters
but you
when it came
haven't
out.
watched it since then.
Oh, yeah. No.
okay,
And he watched it today. So,
okay, because some people watch
yeah.
this every Valentine's Day, like horror freaks. You know those people.
yeah. Axel is like blaming Tom. Tom is blaming Axel. So we don't know who it is. But then eventually it kind of surfaces when it comes to a head that it is Tom. He had PTSD that was so bad that he had developed a split personality.
Yep.
So all the murders that were happening, he was doing them. Did he realize that he was doing them?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think the movie
didn't
suggests he
seem like
does
it.
that he dissociates.
Like it came all to
Okay.
him at once, at least for a moment.
Yeah.
I do feel like though the movies cheat when they do
Yes.
that. When they
It
show
was
you
a
a
cheat.
person who couldn't him locked in a cage, so it couldn't be him. It just feels it's like you got all the power. Why you why you can't fool me in a normal, legitimate way?
Right.
Right.
And that
Yeah,
locked
I've
cage one was
always-
really good.
I was like, well, it's not him.
It's
And
not
he's
him.
so sexy right now, so it's definitely not him.
That old Dean.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a slasher purist. I don't want figments of imagination. I don't want you to see the killer and it not actually be the killer,
Right.
just be in your head.
Yeah.
I don't want a Fight Club.
That happens in lots of Halloween sequels, and
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
they run out of a way to.
it's like
to twist.
there's very basic rules you got to follow for these things. Just stick to
Exactly.
them, folks.
Yeah. They were trying so hard to be different. They should have just kept it. Like
This was filmed in a real mine as well.
Was the
it
same one?
was, yes. But no, this one
was
was
in
actually in like
Pennsylvania.
yeah.
It looks shockingly similar. It's funny how, like when they first dug mines, were people just shorter? I don't understand. Like, how hard is it to just go? I guess it
It's a little
takes
bit
It's
time.
really hard.
It's really hard, right? You're right. You're right.
It's a foot more work.
Just, we already don't like you guys. You're already going to die of black lung. You can duck the whole time. Screw your backs.
I wasn't crazy about the remake, but it just filming in a mine, like a mine is just
A terrible
great
thing to waste.
It is.
location. It's just a
It
great
is.
location for a horror story. Like it's super scary on its own.
Scary as fuck.
Yep.
And filming in a real mine, like you feel it. You feel like you're there. And I thought Universal Studios create a Halloween Horror Nights scare maze in a mine.
With the mind.
Oh, yes.
Do it.
Let us
They're leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
Let us walk. Let us hit our
Yeah.
heads. When that guy hits his head in the second one, when he just
Yeah.
like
Oh,
knocks,
yeah.
oh my god, it's like that would be me.
Yeah, exactly.
Before you
Sorry,
mentioned
I'm
that,
sorry.
what everybody say, man? Because you said Dean. Yo, shout out to Supernatural real quick. Because as I was watching this, as someone who likes Supernatural quite a bit, like that's all I could see was Dean, like on the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
screen. Because he even was wearing like similar clothes,
Actually,
Yeah.
and the way he talks too.
the jacket that he was wearing is the jacket he wears in the show.
I figured.
Is that Tom?
Yeah,
Yes.
Tom
Yeah.
is played by
Sorry.
the super, and I've never seen Supernatural, but I just know from the Wikipedia, his co-star the same year was the lead of the Friday the 13th remake.
Yep. He
Yes,
was.
it was a year for them.
They were branching
yeah.
out.
But that's his show. Like he loves Supernatural.
Oh yeah, Supernatural's dope. That's such a dope show.
Have I seen it?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't
Well, it's
know.
got-
I've
it's
never
like
seen it.
It's on Netflix. It's 15 seasons. It's a complete series.
Wow.
The story of that show gets so fucking crazy, but it's honestly dope. Like she'll tell you, like I was in here.
I've
just
only
binging
seen some of it. I'm not that dedicated. That's a lot of seasons.
It is a lot,
That
but it's
is-
a
yeah,
cool
I know.
story.
That's like soap opera thick. That is woo. Days of our
Yeah.
lives.
But
Like,
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'd say like a knock against this movie, at least comparing it to the old movie, is I love in the old movie the actors just look like real sort of
Yes.
grimy, ordinary looking
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And in the remake, these are all beautiful TV stars.
gorgeous.
Yes. Absolutely.
They're all on Dawson's Creek and Supernatural and everything.
They were.
Even the old men are like a 6 out of
Yeah.
10.
I mean,
Yeah.
Tom Atkins is one of the cops. Like, you're not real people. Come on.
No.
Yeah.
I do like that in the first movie, how it seems more realistic.
Get some charm a
Very.
little bit having that realistic feel.
And unlike like Halloween and other slashers I've seen from the same period, I instantly loved everyone. I always complain that slashers don't give me enough people to care about because they're disposable. But it's like, but you could still make somebody like, I don't know. But everyone in the first one, I'm like, I love these sweeties. They all love each
Yeah.
other. They're just so fun loving, and
I know. I feel so sorry for all of
to
them.
ruin their party.
Yeah.
one
It
with
was
the
way
mustache?
more character driven.
Oh, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, like, poor Miss Mabel. I was like,
Miss
Lord,
Mabel.
no, not Miss Mabel.
Like
Yeah.
she's the first kid. I mean, it felt like the first, right? It was the first one in the
Yeah.
town to get killed in her damn dryer. Callback. There's 2 callbacks. I mean, there's more than 2, but that one was the one that
Those
stood
were the
out.
main ones. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It
ew, the second
was nasty.
movie. Yeah.
The first time I saw that one, it was about a year ago, and I thought these people are way too into Valentine's Day. They're way too into their Valentine's dance, even if their town is named Valentine's Day, the city. I did this time watching it realize, like, okay, well, if they haven't had this dance in 20 years, it makes sense that they're going real
Right.
overboard with the decorations.
Well, and it's funny that they have a committee, a decorations committee,
yeah.
led by
Yeah.
Miss Mabel.
Yeah. Yeah, Miss Mabel's a sweetheart.
She was a sweetie.
She
and
really
was gonna
was.
get a-
She was so
She
sweet.
deserved better. She deserved better.
She was going to get a Valentine from that nice sheriff.
Yeah. That was so cute.
And I'm sure that was smart to have her be one of the earlier kills, to like take out like the sweetest, nicest person and
Yeah, they're
set
like,
the tone
we're not
for the
fucking
movie.
around.
Like,
Exactly. We're
Yeah.
going to kill a cat. We're going to kill a child. Right. Exactly.
The main differences, I think, between the first and second movie has a lot to do with, well, obviously the killer, but also like the story with the warden, with Henry Warden. Like, so the first movie, we saw him running off. We don't know if he was dead. But in the second one, the sheriff and some other guys actually killed him, buried him. So they knew for a fact that he was supposed to be dead. So I think that kind of like changed, how
Right.
how they approached everything.
Well, because you start your mental exercises of like, okay, it's one of the lovers of this woman. Which one is it? It makes you have to deal with that much earlier in the
Right.
movie. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And it's so smart how they make you not like Axel in the second one, like right away when you realize
I want to smack that man.
it's the and the wife even knows about the affair and is still nice to Megan. Like that's a nice-hearted
She is
woman.
stupid.
But very smartly let her get out the window first. That was a good call. But like, I thought it was a baby in that box, y'all. I don't know. I would have said like "love you" and stuff over her body. I'm like, is
I
that
thought that too.
I was like, it's too early. That's not right.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It's pretty impressive to have a guy who's gonna basically end up being the hero of the movie. When you meet him, he's cheating on his wife in a Blair Witch house. And yeah, that's a lot to overcome. This guy's such a scumbag, and also the way he looks. This guy, this
He's hot.
Yeah.
Dawson Creek motherfucker.
But he does seem bad at being a sheriff, right? He doesn't seem like he takes it seriously. He is not equipped for any of this stuff. He's no Jodie Foster. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely not.
But,
Oh, no.
right? But then he, I don't know, it just falls in his lap, honestly.
I don't like him.
He doesn't actually figure anything out. He's just like, I knew I hated you.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
That was his
Got him.
soul. That's all. That's the basis for everything. Since he didn't like
That's
him. And
another thing. He's mean to his wife the whole time. Like, he's too jealous. It's
He
just funny.
is.
Like they totally make it okay to kill him and for him to be the bad guy, but then he's not. I thought it was smart, a smart little twist in that way.
I really thought it was him, especially when she went into the cabin
Right.
and all the hearts were in there. The heart, packages. I was like, oh, it is him.
Right, yeah.
And I
They
thought
really
that-
mess with your mind in that one.
Seeing the movies back to back, seeing the first one's revelation that in the first one it's Axel who is the killer,
Yeah.
and you see his flashback to being a kid, and you see sort of the transference. He witnesses Harry Warden doing these murders, and now he sort of embodies his killer spirit. And then immediately going into the next movie, and when Tom has his friends basically abandon him, and he's underneath the killer, and he gets blood sprayed on his face, and the camera just lingers on him. I was like, okay, so he must be the killer. That must be
Right.
what happened at the end of the last movie is now happening at the beginning of this movie.
Well, also-
We're seeing him become the killer at the beginning.
Tom literally is a killer, though, right? He didn't clear the line, so like in a way, he just felt like he needed to self-fulfill that prophecy. Maybe like, fuck it, I am a killer.
Yeah.
I
He
ruined
was
all y'all's lives. Let me keep
carrying
going. Let
that
me
guilt.
give y'all a tradition.
That's a good way to look at it because they already like you're gonna blame me for this anyway. So fuck it. Like y'all want
Right.
to see me
It's the-
kill some people? I'll fucking do it. Like
There's 3,000 people in here, and I'm going to kill a fourth of those people. Right? I really do think it's because of the survivor guilt. He played it. You could see how affected he was when he goes to that party. He doesn't really want to be there. He feels like everyone's mad at him, as they should
are
be.
mad at him.
They are.
Yeah.
And
I feel like
and
everyone's
then
talking about me behind my back.
You killed a lot of
They
people.
are.
You killed a lot of people.
I hate that fucker.
And then there's someone who's actually mad at you, Tom. So mad he's killing a bunch of people. I mean, people just are in that tunnel for a second, and there's just dead bodies everywhere. But anyway, and then you see your three best friends leave your ass. Like,
Yeah.
what else
Mine's
is there
jacked
for
up.
you, sir? Yeah,
Yeah. I get that.
fucking Tom.
I feel like it
I'm
also
on
would
his
have worked
side.
kind of cool too if they did go that route where it's like, oh, y'all left me for dead, so now coming back and killing y'all and other people.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
I know
That
what
kinda
you
worked
did
kinda
last
cool, too.
summer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yes, you're gonna leave them in a cage.
So let's talk about the love triangle. So in the first movie, we kind of touched on it, how Axel is like a town whore. He got this other woman pregnant. I feel like that was just unnecessary, like that subplot.
I think it really did have to. The same reason you give a cat to someone you want to show that they have a heart and sympathy, you give them a cat. So, like, if you want to put a big question mark over somebody very early on, you make them a sleazy, you make them a liar in some other way. So, it certainly set the tone for me. And in the fact that I still to this moment do not know who that white-haired man is, the one that was the caretaker of Tom. He went to him to sign the papers. That man.
Ben,
Who the
I
fuck
think
is
his
that?
voice- I don't know
Like,
who
who
he
is he?
was,
He's
though.
like the business,
Yeah.
the guy who runs like the business of the mine.
He's a businessy
He's
man.
just a local rich man.
Okay, well, but he's at the he's in the little diner or whatever, and he's like, "When are you gonna leave this guy?" And it's just like everyone seems to hate Axel, but he's the
Yeah.
sheriff for some fucking reason. I don't know.
That's
It
true.
was weird.
How did he win an election?
Right? Don't they have to vote?
Yep.
Rigged.
I think in the first movie, because nothing implicated Axel, I was
Right.
shocked that it was him.
I was too.
Yeah,
I was way more shocked.
I was super shocked.
He seemed like such an idiot, like just a big goofball. Can't even get his head out of a ladder, whatever the hell in the beginning. He didn't seem capable, but he was the only one of that stature. Like, you're looking for the big guy
Yeah.
because it's an imposing in both of them. You're like, okay, that's a built person. So you're trying to rule out people.
It's a little bit of a cheat to at the very end of the movie now reveal his entire backstory that was not even
True.
hinted
True.
at.
True.
Yeah.
Right. There's never any, except for that he's jealous, right? That's it. And then he goes, okay, then he's the only one that's outside of the party when the guy gets his head put in the hot dog water and all that. He's already
was a good one.
pissy and whatever. And he goes outside and he just sits and he doesn't get killed. And so that should be like a big red flag. You're the only one that's been alone in this movie and hasn't gotten killed. Where were you? So that's when I realized it was him. But
And I also thought it was questionable too when he died off camera.
right.
Oh,
Like when he
yeah.
went in the
Yeah.
water, and I was
That's-
like,
yeah,
okay,
that's-
that's a little weird. Like, yeah.
I love that. I love that 60-foot pool of water, whatever it is. It's just so creepy to
Oh,
think
it's
about.
so creepy.
You're already thousands of feet below the earth, and then there's a giant this.
Right.
You can just fall into, and it's like, there's nothing we can do.
Never stop.
He's
falling.
never going to stop falling in the water.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to your point, I feel like the like mystery of like, oh, who could it be is a little bit more fun in the original to me than it is in the remake.
Yeah, because I think it's everyone in the second one. Where in the first one, I really was. I had no idea. I'm so used to not enjoying the acting in slasher movies of that time. I was just happy that there were real tears. There was real emotion. I believed I believed the like connection and the love and the, I don't know. It was way better acted than it needed to be, the first one. But I was there for it.
I agree.
You know, I was actually shocked by with the first one that at least in the cut that we watched, there was like no nudity or anything for a time period where I feel like.
No, you're right.
Well, the remake, they were like, you know what's a problem with the old movie? No nudity. We'll take care of that.
We need a very
We need a chase
empowered
scene with a naked person.
with
Which
a landing
Just
strip.
thought that was so extra.
well, I love how I love how brazen it is. Like, yeah, that's right. We're gonna have her charge out into the parking lot with a gun, naked. This entire sequence, she's gonna be naked. Like, that's probably my favorite part of the movie because it's like it's so openly like this is the kind of movie you're watching.
Right.
Yeah.
Crotch.
Well,
Openly
apparently
obnoxious, crazy.
that was her idea.
Really?
It wasn't originally written into there.
She did look great. So she wasn't lying when she looked up in the mirror and said, "I look hot today. I shall do this nude."
That was improv.
The sex scene was, but not
that's
her
some good
walking
improv.
out. The walking out part. That's the part.
It's a great choice.
She added in. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great choice. I mean, I've not seen that in any other movies.
running in rocks in platform shoes. That's not easy.
Okay. She had on heels.
Yes, and not just heels, Chrissy. The platforms, the kind that like it's just straight, but it's that's even harder in rocks.
I was like, naked. She is jiggling everywhere.
She did not age a bit. Looking good, Irene.
All right. So, I had wrote on here for us to talk about the twist and reveal, but we kind of already talked about that. And the acting, I think we kind of talked about that. But dialogue, I love the dialogue a lot more in the first movie.
Oh, yeah.
The second movie, they said some stupid stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, did they really write that?
It was just a stupider time. I lived through 2009. I can't attest to what the world was like in 1981, but I was there in 2009. We said lots of dumb shit. I don't want to have to watch it.
It felt very of that time.
Yeah, and just too much like real melodrama
It's melodramatic.
for a slasher. I want this to be a little goofier and a little broader.
Right.
And it's like too much like, oh, this is like a John Cassavetes movie, like with the intrigue and the drama and the love quadrangle
Will they
here
or
going
won't
on
they?
here.
Right. Who's she gonna?
Right.
He's not gonna sell the mine. I hope he likes children.
Slashers from the 80s are so great because of how it's like a time machine. You get to go to the past in these movies that were largely made outside of Hollywood. So they're shooting in real towns, largely with local actors. I love that element. And the remake is just feels way too Hollywood. The people are too pretty. The dialogue's too, the acting's too good. I need the acting to be a little bit worse.
Right. You're like, I'm going to see this person in a different movie. That makes them not qualified to be in a slasher. I need to have never seen you before and to never see you again.
I actually felt that way when I watched the 2016 Blair Witch movie. Did y'all see that movie?
The second one?
Did we watch that?
It was
we didn't watch that.
Oh, I haven't. Have you?
I can't remember if we watched it or not.
It's the one that's just called Blair Witch, and it's like an okay movie, but the actors in it seem like actors. And if you watch the original Blair Witch Project, you're like, these are people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of felt that way with these two movies.
Right. Like you guys are really getting out your feelings.
Like you're watching.
You're not saying anything dumb enough right now. Right.
Well, and you're just saying things the way actors say them in movies now.
Yeah.
Like I think that one line, and you brought it up while we were watching it when Tom got into the car and it was the old dude at the car window.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna find him. If you don't find him, I'm betting he finds you.
I was like, that's so cheesy.
Okay.
I will say the remake has Tom Atkins. He gets out of his cop car and stands up, and his name actually comes on screen as he walks on the screen, and I'm like, okay, I'm in good hands. From Halloween 3 is in this movie. I know I'm in good hands.
Which one is that?
He's the sheriff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You've seen he's
When
in
they
a
do the
billion
credits,
movies.
It says guest star, and then it's got his name.
I love when movies have guest stars.
Yeah, I wrote
Oh,
down that
absolutely.
the first movie, the credits, there's so little effort put into them. It literally looks like Cheers, the Cheers credits.
Yeah, it
it's
does.
It's just funky 70s font straight across, and then it's like, oh, blah blah rainbow production, just straight across. I don't know. I
Yeah.
can't explain it. It just was like, that's
does
not
look
even
like
a
Cheers.
PowerPoint. That is not right.
Now one thing
Guest
that I want to
starring.
talk about, because you mentioned, the era 2009, Matt, was that, this film I think was the first like 3D horror film like in that late 2000s era that kicked off like Final Destination 3D, Saw 3D, like they kind of followed suit after this film did it. And then we got that schlock of 3D films that was nonstop for like the next 3 or 4 years.
Making me
after
have
that.
to vomit
days.
and pee.
Yeah.
I already have to pee in this theater. Now I have to run down these stairs and maybe fall because I've been watching 3D bullshit this whole time.
And this
Not
movie made a
made for
lot
it.
of money.
It
the
did. I
budget
was surprised to see.
14,
Really?
Yeah.
And they made like 120 something.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
solid.
insane.
But it's probably because of 3D ticket sales. It costs more.
That's
I'm sure
why
that
they were
helped.
doing it. That's why Hollywood suddenly is like, I like this movie thing where we can charge twice as much for tickets. Let's do more of that,
Yep.
please.
Yeah.
It looked
And
good in
it's
Avatar.
just shitty.
Right.
It's just shitty 2D
What?
conversions. Like it's not even
Right. It's not
Right.
actually
Like,
filmed
yeah.
in 3D.
Oh.
Yeah, you're
You
just literally
guys.
putting a filter on in post. The first 3D eyeball that pops out, and it's like 4 minutes into the movie. When that happened, I was squirming a little. Like that's what this movie's going to be. I was surprised at how solid it ended up being in the end.
It actually was a solid movie.
Where I thought the kills were like very imaginative. If I didn't necessarily like the way they looked,
This one.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah,
one.
the shovel
The
in the
shovel,
face,
and then I've never seen a decapitation from here up. Like it's just like
and then it
was a
slides
good
down
one.
the shovel a little
yeah,
bit.
Yeah, it
yeah,
does.
But
it
it's
did.
like, God, if you did this with a prosthetic, that would look so much better. I can see the. Yeah,
it just looks like gum, and Matt hates gum.
that's true.
No,
The way you just did that looks nasty.
Yeah, I know, don't do that.
Sorry.
Cut that.
Yeah. All right. So, what do you guys think about the character design of the villain?
like the miner suit.
You're right. There's only so many. You got to think of another way to have a mask. You know, it's like, okay, but good on you for actually giving there a practical reason why the breathing makes this sound like you're breathing through. I was like, all right, that's kind of smart. And I love that it's a mining town. So oh God, Thanksgiving had to get so much inspiration from the first one. Even the
for
plot,
sure.
the beats, but the everyday necessity for that costume that everyone could have it. That it's just a common thing to have. I was just like, that's smart. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry.
If we want to be really highfalutin about it, it's like mining is inherently dangerous. And this
Right.
is the physical manifestation of the danger of mining in the
I'm
form of
gonna kill this town.
a
One
miner
person,
dressed like a miner, and he's going to kill you all with his little spike thing.
the little thing, this little set
And I
of
think it
dwarves.
helps too that since it is just like the mining suit, that with everyone being miners in that town, like everybody's got access to that attire. So it could be anybody. I feel like that helps with that, with that mystery. Like, damn, like they all
this
can
is
just get a
stuff-
pickaxe and mask.
This is stuff
Regular
they're all
shit.
wearing and using every day. And now suddenly it's very scary.
Right.
Yep.
And suddenly
Like
you
a
realize how
nun.
scary this looks.
Like a nun in a scary
nun
movie.
is what we're saying.
That nun looks scary as fuck now.
Well, my next thing is to talk about the kills.
The kills. Well, I'm gonna start with the remake first, only because we were watching that behind the. Christy and I were watching like a behind the scenes type of thing, and they actually used quite a bit of practical effects along with like CGI stuff, which I was kind of surprised by. And there was actually some good prosthetic works. Like one of my favorite kills was I don't know what that dude's name when he went to the house and he kind of got in a tussle with him, and then
Ben, right? It's Ben,
Is it Ben?
the old man.
Yeah, it was the old dude. where
and
the
the second
pickaxe was
one.
stuck in the floor. Yeah, in the second one,
Yeah.
when the pickaxe was stuck in the floor, and he
He
was trying
pushed
to
his
keep,
head, or
yeah, and he pushed his head
curb
onto
stomped
it.
him. Yeah.
In the behind the scenes clip, they actually showed the prosthetic for that, and it was like detailed as fuck, and it just looked really good. I think I was actually shocked by how much practical, like prosthetic stuff was
Right.
in the remake. Even though they covered a lot with like CGI blood, it still looked, I thought, really good.
Oh, that's a shame to even hear that they spent so much time on such practical stuff that actually it was that convincing that because they mixed it with CGI bullshit on top.
Filmmakers want to do it practically. Like people get into making horror movies because they love the movies they grew up with. I think that CGI is the thing that they accept they have to do as part of the industry now. But if they had their druthers, they wouldn't use it. I too am surprised to hear that. I didn't.
Yeah,
I only saw the PlayStation 2 looking.
Well, because it opened it with that. And so I think that probably set your brain to like, well,
Yeah.
the rest of this is going to be
That's
bullshit.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
They
true.
shouldn't.
Yep.
Well, I'm actually surprised as well. Even though before we watched it, I was like, oh, I just assumed most of it was, CGI.
It's a waste. Yeah.
Mhm.
It,
And I think probably because it was 3D too, that a lot of that CGI elements
looks
played a role.
Exactly.
Too. Yeah.
you end up putting computer effects on top of a real life thing, and then you accidentally make it look not like a work of art.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can do the blood on the screen or the pickaxe coming at you, all that type of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I really
pickaxe, they
like the
make it-
practical effects in the first one. There was some really good stuff.
Oh yeah, I was yeah. That movie had some great practical work in general.
I love the hanging uniforms and
I
that they
like
do
those
that in
too.
both of them.
Yeah.
Because they are so. You clearly, someone who worked in a mine just had a great concept for what already freaked them out, or like what's already creepy about this, and like that shit's weird. But it's kind of like a fireman. Like you have to have your suit at the ready. So I get it why they hang them like that, but it is creepy as
Super
shit.
creepy.
Oh, and in both of them, the whole like going through the tunnel and smashing the light bulbs as
the
it
light
goes.
bulbs. Yeah.
And the whole time I'm thinking, do you know how many potatoes they're going to need to unscrew all these broken? This is rude. You're going to be gone in a day and then just useless.
And when it comes to kills, I liked the suspense building in the first one a lot more. And to that point with the light bulb thing, like he just did it at the very end, which almost is like a callback to the original.
Yeah.
But with
Yeah,
in the
had to
original,
be.
it was more like it was more creepy. Like it had this build up to it. It wasn't like they didn't even
taking
know
his
where he was
time.
exactly. Yeah.
Because they were stuck in the first one. In the second one, they didn't have that the ride all the way down, or they did,
Yep.
but they didn't make it like an essential part because they could access that abandoned part of the mine without going down a roller coaster thing. So
Yeah.
I think in the first one that he just knew he had them trapped.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because it turns out to be Axel, no one knows it like you do. Or
Exactly.
it's such an advantage in that kind of environment to be someone that works there.
Do y'all have favorite individual kills?
I like the hot dog one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Seeing the actual hot dog float by,
I know.
I was like, that's so good.
Yeah, it was good.
Well, and it's like burning him here too. I keep thinking like, oh, but his chest is on the thingy.
I'd probably still eat the hot dog.
Me too.
The water's boiling, it's fine. Like it's good.
Right.
Right, like that's self-cleaning. Soap is self-cleaning. Hot dogs, self-cleaning.
If somebody put a decapitated head in your refrigerator,
Would you notice it?
I think it would take me like 25 times before I noticed it. Like I noticed things being removed from the refrigerator, like who took my yogurt, but like something added, I'm just not. I'm going to be blind to
Especially
it.
if it's on the bottom shelf.
Yeah.
Like no one's
Yeah.
looking.
I
at
think
it.
I would
They
see
They would
it.
pay attention. They're just- he went in there with a purpose, right? I'm looking for the beer.
Right.
I see it. Grab it.
Right.
I'm done. Yeah.
That's why I'm effective.
It's like me in the grocery store. Like I go with
Right.
a purpose. I'm in and
Right.
out in like 5 minutes. That's why
Mark,
she's
you're-
like going with me.
Your bullshit marketing isn't going to work on me. I don't see any of this. I'm going straight for the milk.
That's right.
Yeah. See, I can give him give him a list. He's going to get everything on that list. But if he
Right.
gives me a list, I'm like, oh, well, what else they might want?
Yes.
You know?
What goes, like, because Matt will have 8 meats on there, but guess what? We need sides, baby. So, like, I can't think of I mean, he's great at doing all this. I'm not. But, like, you got to go off menu sometimes.
Sometimes
Spice it
you
up.
have
I
to go
can't
off
go
list.
off menu. It's my
can't.
greatest flaw.
Right.
What was your
He's a
favorite
list
kill?
guy.
By the way?
I already gave mine.
Yeah, your
Which
turn,
one?
AJ.
Hot dog.
The hot dog.
Oh, I'm tripping.
The hot dog.
I don't know
the
where I
hot
was
dog
at. I was thinking
killer.
about the grocery store, apparently.
He's dressed as a hot dog and kills them.
I kind of gave mine earlier when I mentioned the floor one in the remake. That shit was just brutal.
The stomping
but it-
part. Yet something
Yeah.
about this part.
Just the aggression of,
very American
like-
history. Ooh,
Yeah.
it's like it was
that-
already
that shit
bad,
was-
but you had to step on them.
exactly. But if I had to pick another one that I really liked too, was what's the dude's? Was his name Burke?
You don't know
In the
nobody's
remake?
name.
The one where he pickaxed up through his chin.
Oh
and then
yes,
ripped it
Yeah,
off?
that's
on the porch.
Tom Atkins,
And,
the
he
the
took
sheriff.
his
Yeah,
job.
the
He
sheriff.
took his freaking job, and he might not even be dead. Go kill him.
That was
you
brutal
just took
because
his-
it sat in there for a little bit.
Yes.
And he's
The
thinking, this
agony
is
of
okay.
having
This
that.
is okay. I can deal with that. I don't need my chin to not have a hole in it.
You know he wiggled around for a while back there because nothing went through his brainstem or his this thing.
Just
spine.
laid there.
Oh, yeah, he
Oh,
felt it.
jeez. Oh, jeez.
He felt it.
Jeez.
Now, something that's
bad
cool,
day in the
'cause I
mine.
mentioned the behind the scenes earlier, was that they built
On the remake.
for the remake, they built like a full sculpt
Head.
with the ripped off jaw and everything. Like, and that prosthetic
See, that
was
did
nice.
look real.
That
did.
shit was amazing.
I mean, it flew at because it's
Yeah.
right because
Yeah.
he walks away and it flies at you. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
I
that was
got
a
to
good
see
one.
that up close. One that I liked because of the visceral feeling of it was just when the trucker opens the door and it just goes right in the top of his bald head, and like he's like you just know he's gonna pull brain out with him or something.
Yeah.
Now, let me know what y'all think about this scene right here, because I thought this was super goofy. But remember in the original when it was the bartender when he was like setting up that booby trap to scare the party goers.
As you do.
And he
yeah.
kept like opening the door like 5 times, like testing
Like,
it. And he
this
went back
time.
that last time, and then he was suddenly there. And I was like, "What the fuck?"
Come
I
on,
don't know. This
right,
is
like,
goofy. It was goofy to me.
That is what a way to be in the right place at the right time. Like, what are the freaking odds? And is there
Yeah.
a back way to this closet, sir? Is this a Jack and Jill closet? What the fuck?
Sometimes you edit a nice clip from your podcast and you just want to keep listening to it. Like maybe this time it'll be still there. That's all he was doing. He's like, I really did a good job.
And me
I
being
could go home or I could look at it again.
Yeah. Dude
not
turned
gonna
around about to
appreciate
walk
this.
away, and he's like, "No, you know what? One more time. I open it one more time. I gotta see it." I was like,
this-
bro, like, come
It
on.
wasn't until the third time I saw this movie that I realized he was the bartender because everyone
Oh, yeah.
looks, all these people look the same to me.
Me too.
So I need it's like, no, you're the bar guy. You're supposed to be in the bar. Now you're wearing a mine outfit. You look like to me, you're a
Because they
different
all know
person
how to
now.
mine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
It
should
was
have to wear a
hilarious.
bar necklace or something. Yeah.
There's
about you,
always
Matt?
there's always a practical jokester in these movies. In both the
yeah.
old one and the remake, you get a fake out killer jumping out at you, and it's just one of the guys having a
From the
goof.
thingy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Up in the thingy. He was up in the thingy. In the mine.
Yeah.
Dirty
And I
as
feel
hell
like
up
in
there.
real life he would be like ostracized, like would no longer have friends or like
Right,
normal.
stop jumping out, Gerald.
No one likes this.
No one is ever okay, but they all seem like people who would pants each other. In the first movie, I mean, it is all towel popping and
Yeah.
true.
it's
The dude's running out trying to hold his pants up and he's trying to get his
That
pants
was
down.
that was funny. Yeah.
they all seem like best friends. I mean,
Yeah.
you can understand if someone who doesn't feel like they fit in would need to leave that town. I mean,
Yeah.
you're the only one that doesn't get their butt grabbed. It's not nice.
Yeah. Or talk about sex in the shower.
Oh, like come on. No.
Roto.
In the first one, like, oh,
Yeah.
that's what she's doing. She was nice enough to let you do downstairs stuff on her in this nasty ass locker room.
You're talking about when he comes back into the mine and he hears the showers
He's like,
on?
oh yeah.
Like, oh, good job, babe. Turn on the shower.
I know how to work the shower.
He is very excited. He's got a little
Right.
throwing his beers around.
It's cold
Right.
as hell. Let's have sex.
You remember when all the couples go down into the mines and then that one couple splits off and they're like, we'll meet up with you in 10 minutes.
See
And
you
they
in
go
10
into a
minutes.
little break room.
Yeah.
Yep.
And apparently for 8.5 minutes, they just kissed.
They
And
just-
Laci and I both had big objections to this. Like, what are you doing?
Get to the fucking like.
But I guess this is all they want to do. These are all just grown children.
right. And then,
We're just going to kiss each other.
and then the girl looks at him and the guy and she goes, "That feels good."
That feels so
Ever
good.
said that about kissing?
I love your kisses on my
That's why I was
face.
so shocked this movie didn't have nothing in it. It had nothing in it. I was like,
It's
wow.
a very chaste movie. All you'll get is like a lady being picked up and put into a spike.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that was
That's
it.
That's the amount of
horror for your
penetration
grandma.
you'll get. Yeah.
Yeah.
You.
So that's the only one was a shower head.
Think about it.
Oh, I hate it when someone. Oh, the shower head one. The me and my kid were
yeah.
both like, she just got turned into a water feature. He was, and see, that was another example of really good acting. He was very satisfyingly traumatized in a really sweet way. Like I felt his
His sadness.
I wanted to be his friend. Yeah.
Yeah. There was some good acting in this movie.
He did get up really close.
He did.
He got like really close. Like, damn. I
Are
don't
you
know if I would have got that close. But in the shock of
I
it
was
all,
like,
I don't
what
know.
is he
but-
doing?
right?
It's like,
that
does he
is-
need to see something or?
He
Maybe
was
she's
like
still
in
alive, I
her
don't know.
mouth. Like, maybe I can still stick my penis. No. This is a bad time. It's a bad time. I'll come back.
Now, do you want to mention like similar kills? Because they both films had dryer kills.
Well, that's
Yeah,
a
you
callback, right?
You gotta have the
Yeah.
dryer kill.
It had to be.
It's iconic.
Yeah, Miss Mabel in the
Oh,
first movie.
I can just
and
smell it though. I can smell
what was
the
the
dryer
nanny?
It was the nanny that got
in the
dryer,
second one.
kill. Which made me sad.
Yep.
'Cause she's just trying to do her job. What the fuck
Just
does she have
trying
to
to
do with
work.
any of this?
Yep.
She's just
She's
trying
not
to get a
connected
check.
to the damn mine.
It's more sad when people are just trying to do their job.
I was concerned though when I see the kid and I'm like, they're gonna go here. I don't need them to add kids to this. I don't need it. I liked how all the adults died in the other one. So
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
And I guess the pick through the chin thing is similar, even though in the first one he kind of went through the eyeball.
Oh yeah, he did. That's right. Yeah.
I was just surprised that they stuck so close to the original movie,
Yeah.
just in having the names of the characters be the same.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
having a similar setup. Like I figured they were just like buying the name and the vague similarity, and like this will also be in a mine, but otherwise we can do whatever we
Yeah,
want.
my first reaction after watching both was like, that's a remake that's warranted. I don't necessarily like it more than the first one, but it was definitely trying to do something different with
Yep.
very similar source material and paying homage to what. If you're going to redo it, build it out. There needs to be a reason. And I felt like, well, okay, you had something
The
else to
reason is
say.
3D.
In 3D.
Yeah. 3D.
Yeah.
What we want to say is
Writer penis.
Oh, you know what was another dope kill
What?
in the remake? The hotel manager. The lady when she walked into the room.
Oh, right. Where did he
was
put her?
Irene.
I knew she had
Oh,
to be small
Because
for
that's
a
when he
reason.
like he hit her under the chin and like lifted her up to the ceiling and hit the
and like
light.
electrocuted her.
That
It felt
shit
like
was brutal.
just kept her.
Yeah, that
Irene
was a
put
brutal
up
kill.
a fight though.
She
like I really
did.
thought Irene was going to get out of there. She's
I thought
fucking
she
smart,
was. No, she didn't
naked
make it
and
though.
everything. I just kept saying, push the bed on him, child.
Yep, and run out.
That's what
Yep.
she
And then
needed
you
to
run
do.
out.
Yep.
You're so good in those platforms. You go right.
She just I don't
just-
know. But yeah, that would have been
She had
smart.
been through a lot. Right. She had just came, and then she killed her. She did.
who are you kidding? With that guy?
She's like, I'm not a hooker. He was like, you are now.
Now you
You
are.
are now.
I was like,
And she's
I was
like,
like,
God, you
dang,
said
really?
the perfect thing.
Oh, isn't that just like a writer? She's like, all right, writer, you're going to write you having sex with me. I'm going to write me running out like this. They really were one-upping each other.
Yeah, they were.
Artists.
I was like, why is she screaming like that?
She's very performative. Yeah, very performative.
I was like, are they trying to tell us that this is that kind of hotel? I
want to go to this hotel.
I want to go there.
Just this roadside motel with giant heart-shaped bathtubs.
Those bathtubs. Hard to clean, but nice.
They have
Not
to
my
be.
problem.
What was it, the Thunderbird Motel or something like that?
I don't know.
Really?
I want to go to the
so it was.
Thunderbird Motel.
We do love a good motel.
Well, I didn't like the whole, I already said this, I didn't like the little, cheating scenario. But there was a moment when she was like, she knew that this was happening.
Yeah.
And I was like,
But
really?
Really?
You're not going to say
you're hot
at
as
all?
hell.
Nothing. Yeah.
Like,
She
you're
didn't say
okay with
nothing at
that.
all.
And you're
And then
still
she's
being
still-
nice
No,
and
she's-
and employing Megan. Like, Megan doesn't like you.
She knows it's not ideal, but she's a boss. She's got to be professional.
She was like,
supermarket
Axel's always been there
trusts
for
her.
me. And she was like,
true.
not
Trauma
anymore.
bond.
That was weird.
Smack the mess out of her.
Right. And also working in a miniskirt. How efficient are you? Not great. You're going to stock canned corn and that. I kept waiting for her in the like, oh, we might be living for only a few more moments. Let me confess to you that I've been having sex with your husband. I thought that would happen. But no, she just saved her like a fucking saint. What, Matt?
I would have left her behind.
Me too.
I thought the supermarket sequence was actually really effective and like
It looked like a real
made
little...
me feel something. I was like, oh yeah, I used to work in retail and it'd be like past closing time. And there was sort of this creepy time where if you just imagine like somebody came in through the front door.
Right. You're like,
and you're
did
like,
I
sorry,
lock that?
we're closed. And then they just stayed. There's just a lot of creepy.
And it's automatic. So it's like, I know that door just opened for you, but I did not want you to come in.
And it's just the two of us in this giant cavernous place. I thought that was pretty good.
Well, also in that scene, you had mentioned, how did he get from the room
I do not know.
outside so fast?
It was fucking fast.
That was crazy. You just... And in moments, she's like, something's not right. I think you're about to get away. I think it's all okay now. Like,
Yeah.
like an Olympic
That was
runner.
one of those movie moments where you just suspend
Yeah, you
belief.
just-
Like,
Right, you just gotta let it...
He found a shortcut. Like,
I never
made it.
never think about that. Whatever happens, I'm fine. When she Megan, right, the other lady,
the other lady. The child having
when she
sex.
has to unlock the padlock. If that happened to me, I'd just be like, we're done.
Yeah. We need to just...
Sorry, it's been a nice.
Let's hug
we've had
each-
a nice run.
Like
But
that old couple on the Titanic. where
Yes.
They just get in the bed.
we're
they
just gonna
Let's just get in bed.
let's get in the bed and let it wash over us.
There's so many moments where I'm like, that's where I'd lay down and take a nap.
You're like, no, it's only four
right?
keys. You just have to try each one. Nope, stop right there.
No,
I'm not
I'd
going to be able to.
myself. I'd piss myself. I'd write a letter to my husband, and then I'd go to sleep. Yep.
you know, I actually thought she was going to drop the keys. I fully expected her to drop the keys.
But she was damn
She did.
competent with that. She's like, I found the keys. You found 20 keys. You found all the keys. What are you going to do? I know which one goes to this obscure lock that I never had to unlock before. The remake, though, gave us 2 or 3 opportunities with a phone that did not have a cut line. She had her cell phone 2 times when she needed it. She used the store phone once when she needed it. It's like, this is refreshing. Because, not every killer knows where to find the landline cord.
Yep.
Yeah.
Killers are great at that. It's true.
They really know how to
They always know how to cut the line. I'd never know how to cut a line.
ever.
Hey, they're part-time at the cable company.
Right,
They're
they're all
part-time
cable
electrician.
guy.
They know how to cut. They can cut anything. Cut anything.
All right. So here's my last question. Which one is better?
First. But I like them both.
Oh, the first is way better.
I wouldn't say way better, but I will read. There's something cozy about the first one.
Oh, it's cozy.
It's cozy. Like Black Christmas.
Well, that's what's great about the slashers from that time. You take out the killing, and I'd still love to just watch these movies on a loop.
They just...
I just want to live in them.
I want to go to that mining rec room That was a perfect. Okay, it looked just like the bar they were in just moments ago. Where they put, like, let's move the
that's their
party to
life.
the same thing. But I was like, yes.
Their life is we're here in this bar and we should be having a dance. If we're at this dance, we should be at that bar. We should be in our rec room. There's not that many places to go.
Right.
And I wouldn't want to go to a real life mine or a real life rec room, but I'd love to go to this mine and this rec room.
One day.
Maybe one day.
I'm going to take you there.
Oh, sweet love.
That's
My
a
Bloody
Valentine's
Valentine.
Day trip right there.
Maybe we will start to care about this holiday. Holiday.
This is some Holloway. AJ, which one do you prefer?
Definitely the first one. Like y'all mentioned, it's cozy. It's got that charm to it. It's just more interesting story wise with the characters. Like it just kind of pulls you in, you know.
It does.
And with the remake, I find that I mostly care about the kills. Don't really care about too much else. Which
Yeah.
I mean,
Did you
it is horror and everything, but when you
It's
can have
horror,
the whole
but-
package, you know,
It's
that's what
the
I- that's
best
what I
ones
prefer.
have that lived in feel. They have that texture. They have that
Like I'm walking into a place here, a fully
sense of
Yep.
place.
that has existed before I got here, and unfortunately, because all the screams had happened, the Final Destination, I Know What You Did Last Summer, the just Disturbia, whatever. I might be naming something that doesn't exist.
Serbia.
Whatever, fuck you. But it felt very. It had that. It was 2008 in a bad way. Unfortunately, the second one, it doesn't feel like it'll withstand the test of time. But
No.
I enjoyed it. It was not hard to watch. None of those are hard to watch from that time, but they do feel stuck in that time. They don't feel classic.
Yeah, I hear
all the
that.
classic slashers were getting remade from like 2007 to
I
2010.
just can't believe I haven't seen either of these before because they're both worth seeing. So I'm just telling you.
Okay.
I commit. Okay. What about you, Christy?
Oh yeah, definitely the first one.
Okay.
I actually didn't like the remake.
Oh.
Yeah, like at all. I mean, Dean is great eye candy.
Yeah.
But I like him. I didn't think his characters served the story well or anything. I didn't
No
like
one to really
the
root
people.
for.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
All right.
Yep.
They're too pretty.
And in the first one, I cared about everyone that died in the first one. In the second one, I was like, no, you deserve it. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, next one.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
just, they felt
I didn't really
disposable.
care. And I mean, I liked some of the kills, but I don't think it was enough for me to be like, oh, I really like this movie or anything like that. But that first one, top
Yeah,
tier.
and that first one's
I
got
actually
that.
was surprised I liked it so much.
It's got that rewatchability factor too. Like you can
Yeah,
definitely
I
always
can
go
rewatch
back
rewatch this
to
one
it.
again.
Yes. Yeah. Like it feels like a tradition movie. Like we'll watch this on Valentine's Day now.
All right. Well, those are my final thoughts. Anyone else have any final thoughts?
This was fun. I was nervous and this was fun.
It was fun.
It was awesome though. Like we thank y'all so much for joining us for this
Yeah,
Valentine's
we
Day
were
conversation.
glad to do it. Had so
Yeah,
much
it was
fun
super
talking
dope.
to y'all. Can we tell your audience about our podcast?
Absolutely.
Yes, help yourself. The floor is yours.
The Load Bearing Beams is the name of our show. It's an audio podcast and a video podcast. You can listen or you can watch.
In 3D.
That's right. We're constantly shooting things at you, projectiles, yo-yos, all kinds of stuff. And it's Laci and I have been married for almost 11 years, and one of us picks a movie and then we talk about it. And it's not just any movie.
It's a special movie to one or the other, and we have to defend it with our lives.
And so
Or
we
just
do.
talk about it. Right.
Which
right.
makes for very interesting conversations.
It gets a little heated.
It's really just an excuse to like do funny voices and make fun of each other and stuff. But that is the premise of the show.
Whatever.
Well, I love it. Well, thank you
We
so
love
much,
y'all.
guys,
We
for
love
coming
y'all.
on.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. Love y'all.
We'll have Laci and Matt's social media linked down below so you can connect with them. And yeah, anything else?
No, that's all. Thank y'all so much for tuning into the whole podcast here. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. Go subscribe to Load Bearing Beams podcast. And then we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.